welcome to the special edition of Rajya Sabha Television. Today we've travelled to Mysore, the most magnificent city in the state of Karnataka, nestled 145 kilometers away from the capital city Bengaluru. Also known as the city of palaces, Mysore retains a quaint charm that never fails to enchant. The splendid cultural heritage, the panoramic festivals and extremely colourful crafts, Mysore unquestionably captivates one's heart. The city beckons with the sheer wealth of its architectural treasures. Mysore is a land of ornate temples, historical monuments and exquisite gardens. The city derives its name from Mahishasura, the mythological demon killed by goddess Chamundeshwari, Mysore's reigning deity. The city dropped its angelized name Mysore in 2014 when it was officially bestowed the title Mysore. With its rich heritage, its role in history, Mysore has assumed the aura of Karnataka's cultural capital. The city at the heart of successive empires was the seat of power of some of the greatest rulers and dynasties down the centuries. The Hoshas, the emperors of Vijayanagar, Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan and the warriors. To this day, Mysore is renowned for elaborate festivities during Dasara, levels of royal pageantry not seen anywhere in modern India. Then there's the famed Mysore silk, saris and lehengas and more. Mysore silk has emerged as a national and international brand that straddles centuries-old tradition and modernity with ease. There's also a long list of other Mysore specialities: Mysore pak, sweet meat, the exotic sandalwood, typical of the region, and stone-carved sculptures that mesmerize one and all. But the most valuable possession of this city is the University of Mysore, founded during the reigns of Krishnaraj Warrior IV. At that time, it was the first university in India to be established outside British administration, the sixth in the entire country and the first in the state of Karnataka. And in July this year, the university has turned 100. The centenary song celebrates the expansion and growing influence Mysore University has seen in 100 years of its existence. These hallowed corridors, grand portals and columns, the rich architecture of its buildings are being readied for the grand centenary fete to be held in July next year. On a visit to the city of palaces, President Pranab Mukherjee officially kicked off centenary celebrations of this centre of learning. The President urged young scholars to spearhead an innovation movement.
A concerted effort to involve the industry in academic affairs could reap benefits in terms of sponsorship of research endowments, creations of chairs, conduct of internship program and improvement in the employability of the students.
The Karnataka government has announced a 50 crore rupee grant for centenary celebrations. A number of innovations are lined up for the year ahead. Among them, a state-of-the-art, technology-driven international convention centre, a planetarium and an interactive museum. Also proposed is a special coffee table book on the university. A triangular centenary logo has also been designed.
We have for this whole year, the series of Nobel laureate lectures in different disciplines. It could be science, social science, commerce, any field you mention, we have planned. And 4 or 5 Nobel laureates have accepted to give lectures.
100 years. And what a century it's been. One that's steeped in a rich tradition of the very best of scholastic brilliance and responsible education that has given rise to some brilliant minds down the years. We'll be looking at this institution's historical wealth in just a bit. Time for a short break. Lots more on the other side. Going down the memory lane, Mysore has always given importance to education and welfare of women. Back then, all the institutions of higher education and colleges were administered by Madras Presidency. But in 1916, Krishnaraj Wadia IV established this university after 2 of his educationists undertook study of higher education across the world. The genesis of the University of Mysore goes back to a 5-year-long in-depth reading and analysis of higher education across the globe. In the early years of the 20th century, Nalwadi Krishnaraj Wadia, the ruling Maharaja of the princely state of Mysore, sent his most eminent logician C.R. Reddy and historian Thomas Denham to study the functioning of universities in Philippines, Japan, USA and Australia. On the basis of feedback from them and others, a bill to establish a university in Mysore was introduced in the Mysore Representative Assembly on July 17, 1916. It was passed unanimously. On the 22nd, the bill got assent from Maharaja Nalwadi Krishnaraj Wadia and the Mysore University was formally established on the 27th of July 1916. The mission statement of the University of Mysore laid down in the 1916 regulations that were published in the Mysore Gazette Extraordinary stated that the institution aims to promote teaching and research in conventional and traditional domains of arts, humanities, pure and applied sciences and professional disciplines. Maharaja's College in Mysore and the Central College in Bangalore, which had been affiliated with Madras University until then, became part of the University of Mysore. At the first meeting of the University Senate, Maharaja Krishnaraj Wadia's exhilaration was palpable. He said, and I quote, "It is the first university in this country to be founded outside the limits of British India, which meets the special needs of Mysore, and which will in time have far-reaching effects on the intellectual progress and material development of the state." Unquote. As tradition goes, members of the royal family have sought admissions to various courses offered by University of Mysore.
There's a lot of things which Mysore erstwhile kings have pioneered. Education is one. I think Mysore is the first ruling family to have started a university prior to independence.
Some of India's greatest minds have been part of this hallowed institution. The university has nurtured 3 Bharat Ratnas, M. Vishveshwaraya, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan and Professor C.N.R. Rao. 2 Jnanpith awardees have studied here, Kovempu and U.R. Ananthamurthy. The Mysore University is also the alma mater to a galaxy of stalwarts in the field of education, administration, arts and sports.
This university was associated at that time with people of the order of Brijendranath Seal, Radha Krishnan, the M. Srikantaya, N.S. Subbrao, Hiranyaya, A.R. Wadia. We have M.V. Gopal Swami, a great psychologist. So, ever so many luminaries were there. not only Indians, but earlier period, even the European staffs have contributed much. One example is of Denham, the other is of Rollo. Ever so many Europeans shape the destiny, shape the future of our children.
Post-independence in 1947, Mysore University set out on a mission of fresh renewal. The new Act of 1956 ushered in academic autonomy for the institution. There's been vast and rapid growth and expansion since then. Today, the university has 42 postgraduate departments at the main campus Manas Gangotri. It is providing higher education to about 85,000 students, of which over 10,000 are postgraduates. University of Mysore has also been accredited for the third time by NAC for a further period of 5 years with a score of 3.47 on a 4-point scale and was awarded A grade. Karnataka's oldest veracity has been awarded the status of universities with potential for excellence by the University Grants Commission.
Mysore University is known for treasure of knowledge, because most of the teachers who are working in the University of Mysore over a period of time, say more than 3 to 4 decades, they were all eminent scholars with erudition, with scholarship, and who were greatly admired by the entire society.
The institution has made a huge impact overseas too. 1,400 foreign students from 50 countries are presently on the rolls. They pursue higher studies here. A number of programs in various disciplines are specially tailored to international requirements. They're a hit with students abroad.
I came as a very reserved person. I was someone who never liked speaking out to people. I was very reserved. But University of Mysore has really trained me. It has brought the best out of me. And also one other thing I would really appreciate University of Mysore is, especially this current administration of University of Mysore, they are very supportive to the international students.
Here's a prouded part of the Mysore University that actually predates the parent institution itself. The Oriental Research Institute was founded in 1981 by Chamraj Warrior X, the then Maharaja of Mysore. It became part of the university 25 years later when it was founded in 1916. The Oriental Research Institute houses over 45,000 palm leaf manuscript bundles. The library features rare collections such as the Encyclopedia of Religion and Ethics by James Hastings and the important editions of the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Its most famous publications include Kautilya's Arthashastra, written in the 4th century BC, edited by Dr. R. Shamashastri. This manuscript brought the ORI international renown when it was published in 1908.
We have kavyas, shastras, and we have plenty of scientific literature also. For example, Bhaskaracharya's Leelavati is here. And pertaining to town planning, we have Mayamata. It is the oldest work on town planning.
Time for a short break. Lots more on the other side. Not only the grandeur of the structures, the Folklore Museum that contains the collections of art and crafts shall equally enthrall and mesmerize you. Located in the Manas Gangotri campus of the university, this museum was founded in 1968. The Folklore Museum, celebrated as the largest of its kind in Asia, has a remarkable collection of folk culture artifacts. Among the biggest highlights, 6,500 articles on folk art and folklore dating back centuries are on display. The array of rare exhibits include a brilliant collection of carved wooden figures from villages of Karnataka, rural costumes, utensils, ornaments, metal artifacts, and more. The museum also houses models of temples, decorative mosques, and ceremonial headwear, and has a section that displays leather shadow puppets. The 2 wooden chariots in its collection have drawn international acclaim. A large section is dedicated to Poet Laureate Kuvempu. A visit to this museum is a veritable journey through a paradise of diversity.
It is one of the best and first of its kind in Southeast Asia because very important antique pieces have been housed here, and building itself is a cultural unit, and the artifacts that are deposited here are itself for cultural value.
Few educational institutions in the world have their own lake. A feature of Mysore University's sprawling campus is the Kukreli Lake, spread over 58 hectares with a shoreline of nearly 5 kilometers. The water body was created in 1864 by the then king of Mysore dynasty, Mummadi Krishnaraj Warrior, and came to be included in the Mysore University campus much later. Its main purpose was to serve as a water supply source for irrigation. In the migratory season, Kukreli Lake plays a host to 180 species of rare birds, winged visitors from all over the world. This lake is believed to have been the inspiration behind many works of Poet Laureate Kuvempu.
Important thing about this lake is as we are standing on the tank bund and people are jogging, walking and all that, there were 2 great people from Mysore who were the alumnus of the university. One was Kuvempu, Rashtrakavi, the national poet, was K.V. Puttappa. He used to come here for his early morning walks and evening walks, and used to be inspired by this place and compose some great poetry. Similarly, R.K. Narayan, the international writer and novelist, he also used to come here and walk, and through this inspiration he has penned some great novels.
The Mysore University will host the 103rd Indian Science Congress in January 2016, set to be another feather in a much decorated cap. This will be the second time the university is hosting the meet. Some science experts, including some Nobel laureates, are expected to attend the convention this time, adding another memorable tinge to the centenary celebrations. Completing 100 years for any institution is a huge milestone. The university now strives to make it to the list of top 100 universities in the world in 10 years and stand by the objective and vision of its founding fathers to act as a shining guide for thousands of students.
He is a centenarian, 103 years old, one of the senior most alumni of Mysore University.
His idea was Mysore being more independent, and it was the first university outside British administration. And in that sense, it was a passive sort of move towards an independent, perhaps not in the whole sense of the independence movement of India, but certainly towards an independent state. And in that sense, I think Mysore University should hopefully inculcate that same zeal of not being influenced by outside force and continue to move along its path, along the same ideal that was set up in 1916.
Mysore University can take pride in the establishment of number of universities across the state of Karnataka. While adopting the policy of inclusive growth to create more opportunities, Mysore University is striving to develop human resource and meet the emerging needs of the society. Well, that's all we could pack for you in this edition. From the entire team here, thanks for watching.